Kobe Snacks Meals in the building.
I wasn't even thinking about me being on the show. I wanted to produce something for them.
Cool celebrity. Like if I went to the mall and stuff, people are like, oh,
The thing was, I didn't even know that anybody ever thought I was ugly.
We look like twins almost.
Okay.
She really wouldn't be
Covering any more subjects related. So this is pathetic. It's pathetic. Hey guys, welcome back to the Sweet Pea Diaries. It's your girl Sweet Pea, and I am back with another video. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back to my channel. And if you are a new subscriber, welcome to the Sweet Pea Diaries. Be sure to like this video, be sure to share this video, but most importantly, be sure to subscribe to the channel. What's up? What's up? Happy Friday. We are in the building. Sweet Pea Diaries. So anybody that's in the chat, please let me know if you can see me, if you can hear me good. You see my beautiful co-host. I have my beautiful co-host with me. This is my lovely daughter. For all of you that do not know her, this is Miss Faye. This is my 22-year-old. This is my oldest daughter. Hi, Christina. Hi, everybody. This is my oldest baby. She is joining me tonight. We're going to be getting into some things. So, everybody, welcome my babies. Hey, guys. All right. So, everything is good. Can you guys hear? Okay. So, recently, I think this week, was trans awareness or trans visibility. So it was Trans Visibility Week. It was on Thursday, or was it Wednesday?
It was yesterday.
No. Yesterday, Thursday. Yep. And so, you know, for all my girls out there, for all the girls, we felt that it is a good time, like now is a good time to discuss being transgender in the Black community. It is a taboo subject. Every time I speak about transgender rights, transgender, gay, anything, I lose subscribers. That is just the reality of it. Anytime I show my support for the gay community, anytime I speak against anything that is taboo in the Black community, I lose subscribers. But it doesn't matter to me because my platform is for truth. It is for inclusion. Everybody is welcome on my platform. So I really don't care, you know, about losing subscribers, because for me, what I do this for truth and visibility. Like, I'm not up here fronting and trying to, gain subscribers, so I'm just playing into what everybody wants to hear. No, y'all know when y'all come over here, we talk about the truth, and we like to include everybody. And you never know what is going to hit your home. You never know when this type of subject or this type of situation is going to hit your home. Absolutely. So we're going to be talking about that. So I'm telling you right now, this is a trigger warning. Trigger warning. If you are triggered by gay talk, transgender talk, gender, sexuality, any of that type of talk, if you are not, you don't like that type of talk, you need to just move on and excuse yourself. Nobody's going to hold it against you. But we will not tolerate any ignorance in the comments, any ignorance in the chat. This is an educational video. So anyone that is here tonight, they actually want to be here. Hey, Koya, they actually want to be here, and they actually want to hear about this topic. So we're going to be sharing some information that Claudia Jordan, she had on her Instagram and actually on her Facebook Live. She had a conversation between cisgender women as well as transgender women. And for those that do not know, cisgender means regular born a woman women and transgender women that were born a male and transitioned into womanhood at whatever age. So she had a very anticipated conversation. It was 4 women, hey Tiff, and they shared the platform and they had a great conversation. We also will be taking a look at T.S. Madison. We all know that she has her new show. It's on WeTV. She's also shedding light on this taboo subject of being transgender in the black community, growing up trans, you know, having parents that are black, and you know, they basically disown you because you are transgender. So we're gonna get into it, y'all. So we're going to play, I'm going to play a clip. And y'all know y'all been tearing up Claudia Jordan for some time. There's a particular blogger out in these streets. Her name is Michelle Brown, Michelle A.T. Alien Brown. And I want to just take the time to just go over something real quick. Now, I'm not here to bust her ass, bust her chops, none of that. But I just want to encourage this sister, cut it out. Give Claudia a break. Cut out all of that colorist Claudia Jordan, all that rhetoric. I'm sick of seeing you push that narrative on this woman, because Claudia Jordan is actually the only woman that has actually shared her platform with transgender women and is actually calling a thing and is trying to create a dialogue between the transgender community and black women. So all of this, she's a colorist and she says some shit. She said some shit on Real Housewives of Atlanta 2009, almost 10, 15 years ago, okay? She said something about it was dark in the damn building and the people was, it was dark, and how can you see the darker people? All she could see was teeth. Some shit that I believe half of us as black people done said and done had said. But it's always these dark-skinned, brown-skinned women that want to keep pushing this shit on someone and keep hounding it and never letting you apologize, never letting you live it down, never letting you say, oh, you know what, that was just a moment in time, it was an ignorant comment, let's move on. No, you want to keep getting clicks and views off of Claudia, calling her colorist in all of your videos. And if I were you, I would kind of slow it down with that, because that's defamation of someone's character. And if you keep doing that, little something birdie in the bushes, you might be having a lawsuit on your hands. So if I were you, I would tone it down, sis. I mean, you calling this woman a colorist. Every time I turn around in your videos, you are attacking Claudia Jordan. And this woman was the only brave, I'm going to say it again, the only brave black woman that is on a major platform willing to share her stage with transgender women. I think it was absolutely fabulous. And we're highlighting it here tonight on my show. So all of you that are in support of Michelle Brown, y'all need to get in the comments and try to tell Michelle, like, calm it down, sis. Like, we all make mistakes. We all say things that we don't mean. We may have had a moment in time where we make a black joke. We are all black. She's not white. It's not like she's white and she made a black joke. She is black. Whether she's high yellow, brown, half black, whatever, she calls herself black. She fights for black rights. She shares her stage with all types of black women, men, and she's always fighting for us. So yeah, the sister made a mistake. She said something that she shouldn't have said years ago. I think it's time to leave it alone, because she's the only one that's willing to actually fight this fight. And I have a child that needs this fight fought. So shout out to Claudia Jordan. Thank you, sis. Fellow Aries in the building. This is what we do. We fight for, we fight the good fight. We fight for things that aren't always popular. So we're going to play some clips. I tried to shorten it as much as I could. it's like four of them in the shot. It might look a little blurry, but you can get the picture. Faye, who is it that she's sharing the stage with?
I know for a fact that the bottom right girl is a girl named Temperance. She's in ballroom, but I don't know who the other two ladies.
The top one is she says her name something. I don't know.
Yeah, I know for a fact the bottom
is
right
Temperance.
Is Temperance.
Okay.
Yeah. She's in ballroom. She's been having conversations with a lot of different people, but the other two ladies, I don't know.
All right. Well, we're gonna get into it, and you guys are gonna hear it.
Trans on me, and first of all, that title comes with so much stigma and so much stereotype, and you're put in a box because of it. So that's why, I can understand her not wanting to be called a trans.
Okay.
So
and
so
also there is not a
safe.
there's not a safety space for certain things like that. Like they were saying in the comments, oh, you should call them out. Like they were saying, there's not a safety space for that. Just like Chelsea said, she transitioned to be a woman. I feel like when you transition from one thing to the next thing. Me personally, myself, she said, she transitioned over 20 years ago. I transitioned 6 years ago, so it is different for me. And even being on social media and being popular and stuff like that on social media, in my everyday life, I'm not wearing I am transgender t-shirt for nobody. It's never going to happen. It's not going to, I didn't get my name changed and my gender changed and all these things done to myself to justify what people feel like I should be wearing on top of my head so they can identify who I am.
So at the end of the day, you don't want to be called transgender woman. You want to be called just a woman.
Yes.
I'm a woman who happens to be trans. And that's okay, because I will own it.
Girls who like to be called trans, like, it's like a hybrid. Like I said, now it's kind of like, I'm trans, and that's fine. Like, I mean, I love it. I'm here for it.
So can you see how confusing it could be for the average?
Yes,
Like,
it is. I get confused sometimes on certain things.
And as a cis woman, I'm like, how can some people be so hard on us?
And advocates, I'm not saying nothing bad about it. I'm just saying, because they will get us.
They go, yes, they will.
Dominique, how do you feel about trans women saying, no, I'm not trans woman, I'm a woman? As a cisgender woman, do you feel a way about that?
I don't personally feel a way, but I understand that there will be women that feels a way about that. And they're also going to say, well, I learned growing up.
So just so you guys know, these two sisters up top, the sister up at the top and the sister at the bottom, they are transgender women. And then Claudia and the sister at the bottom, they are cisgender women. So the conversation is between two cisgender women and two transgender women. And it was, topics that, they were basically discussing. What do you feel about, women sharing the bathroom with transgender women, and should transgender women be called women? And it's like, a transgender woman is a woman. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. So we have to get out of this mind frame that they're anything different. They're going to go to the bathroom because they're women. They're going to be in the women's bathroom.
So basically what Dominique and Temperance was speaking about is the new generation of trans women. Although I transitioned myself 5-6 years ago, like Dominique said up top, I personally agree with Temperance and Dominique that the newer, like myself, like her and Dominique, I want to be labeled as a woman. I just so happen to be trans, but when I'm out in public, I don't have a label on my forehead that says trans. Some people might know, some people don't know, but it's not something that is a conversation that I feel like should even be had. You're out in a public space. It's like, I think because of where social media is nowadays with the gays and everything, too often do they mix the L, the B, and the G with the T. So they think all of the loud, rambunctious, boisterous gay boys and all of the, cross-dressing people are mixed in with us. And it's like, no, trans women, as we've always been, are like out on the outside with, and you know, we just doing our own little thing. There's, like she said, there's a lot of trans women nowadays who are more like in the gay lifestyle. When she said, meaning they like to be called trans, they like to be called, you know, they and them and all this other type of stuff. And those are the more gender queer type of trans women. And like she said, that's okay, but like it confuses a lot of people to the typical regular transgender woman like me and these two ladies, because we're not like that. We don't want to be called anything, and we'll get quite upset and we'll go there with you if you call us anything besides she, her, and hers. And please stop when you're in public spaces, ladies and gentlemen, all the time, thinking that it's okay to walk up to a trans woman or anybody for that matter, asking them their business, but mostly a trans woman, asking her, what are your pronouns? What is this, that, and the third? Who's your surgeon? Like, not everybody takes kindly to that. And you're not going to always get kind responses, because not everyone lives their life like that. There are women out there, that trans women, that transition and live their life as females. You change your name to be known as Larissa, Claudia, you know, and Faye. You don't change your name to people say, oh, well, what are your pronouns?
What
Faye,
do you think?
Her, what do you think?
Right.
I got this hair and these lashes. Like,
what do you think?
So I just think it just needs to be a respect thing, because all of the time, straight people, you guys a lot of the times expect us to respect you all, but the first thing you see a trans woman, you know, coming outside and she's, you know, want to do all that kiki and cackling, and it's like, but you don't respect her, but you expect her to not say anything and respect you. Respect is not earned. Respect is not given, it's earned, I feel like, in this lifestyle. So
and I think too that people, they forget that you're asking someone about their genitalia. Would you want someone to come up to you as a female? There are a lot of women that are masculine looking. I grew up with a girl, and anybody that knows me personally, they know exactly who I'm talking about. She is a girl that she looks just like a man. She was not gay. She's gay now, but she wasn't gay back in the day when we were growing up. And nobody walked up to her and said, are you a boy? But she did look like a boy, you know. So it's like there are plenty of women. Hello, Mary Blue. There are plenty of women that are masculine looking and would get very offended if someone was to walk up to them and ask them, are they male? So you have to, I think that's the same type of respect that you want to have for someone. If you do clock them, if you do notice that they're transgender, so what?
And can I say this? A lot of women I see nowadays, as I've gotten more into my transition and have gotten more pretty, I walk into a space and
they're gonna say what you're just about to say. They're gonna say that. I walk into a
space and the first thing,
I know
cisgender women, usually it's not cisgender women who are as beautiful as me. That's just fair.
I know what you're gonna say.
Cisgender women who aren't as put together. They might, so they use that as a way of like tearing me down.
But they'll be able to, they use it as say I clocked you by saying, girl, you look good.
Right, or not even
or
that. Or
try to say it's extra because they want you to know I know.
Like, it's either that, I don't mind that. But on the flip side, when I'm walking to a space and you wasn't like they'll make a loud scream or a loud noise, because you really want to get my attention. You really want to say, oh wow, like she looks like that, and that's okay to say. You're human. It's okay to think that, but to try to get my attention in a negative way is like, come on, girl. If you want to learn how to put these lashes on, you're on YouTube any other time. Look up a YouTube video and learn how to put those lashes on. If you don't like your man looking at me, learn how to do your hair. Put yourself together. Because too often do trans women get the short end of the stick
because a man is looking at them. Right. And they're going to talk about this too, that men are ostracized because they date transgender women and they're not accepted back by women when they are found out to have dated a transgender woman. Women will not accept them back. So we have to create spaces for men to admit that they've been with a transgender woman.
You know how many times it's been men that would actually date, actually do a lot of things. See, the problem is with some women think that they were put on this earth to own men, to own everything. The world is not yours, honey. This world, not everything belongs to you. Men don't belong to you just because you have a silver lining between your legs. You don't own, so going around and treating, and too often are you put into these dangerous situations as trans women because you see a woman, when she has that mindset of, oh, men are all mine, they only look at me, everything is mine. When a trans woman, as beautiful as myself, walks into a space and you want to do the back and forth thing with me, you start getting all gay, flipping your hair, doing this, doing that, and
it's not a competition.
It's not a competition. And then we'll even go the extent to then whisper to your boyfriend or all the men, not just your boyfriend, but I've seen women make sure
that every man knows. Yes, has to know.
So
right.
He don't come up and talk to me.
Right.
And sorry, boo. There's been a lot of men that
still will talk.
But she had telling her she fine as hell and they'd be so shocked because it's like, oh my God, he knows she's a man and he wants to. The world does not belong to you. Men don't belong to you, and I think that's the problem. Too often, when a cisgender woman and a trans woman gets into these conversations, it's not. We don't hate y'all. We don't have nothing against y'all. The problem is with a lot of gay people is they have this anger to them, this rage, and ready to fight and defend themselves because they're still a grown-ass person at the end of the day. And disrespect every day and going through these things, it's not an easy thing to go through. Mm-hmm. To be going through that every day and still have to put a smile on your face, and it's not easy. So lay off a little bit with the gay people in your area, trans people, whoever, because this world does not belong to you. I am in this world too. She is in this world too. My brother, my sister, whoever. It's not just yours just because
you're a woman.
You're a woman.
Right. Men don't belong to you just because you have a vagina. Right.
I could go get a vagina too.
Right. But I think that we have to have more inclusion. I think that we have to give men that, love that, hey, just because you were with it's like because you were with a man, they associate that with HIV. That, let's just call a thing a thing.
Absolutely.
They think that gay sex means HIV, gay sex means AIDS, and the reality of it is AIDS, HIV is heterosexual, it's IV drug users, it's anything that is through the blood, you're going to contact AIDS or HIV. So we have to stop with this being uneducated as Black people. We have to start having conversations built around education.
But like I said, it's just the women, because I'm going to drop this gem. Most men, most Black men that I've gotten to situations with, dates, whatever, I have to force them to use protection. They don't want to use protection.
They don't want to
use.
Maybe
it's just because they're so used to the women that they're with not using it. And, I don't have anything, and,
but you're not trying to be unsafe.
I'm not trying to be unsafe.
And I've heard that you have to force them.
I have to educate a lot of guys, because it's like, okay, I'm a clean trans woman, but the next trans woman, maybe even gay boy, next woman, then so on and so forth that you are with might not be as clean. And that's why it's so prominent within, my community, because too many of that happens. You get drunk and you do it.
Yeah.
And then it's just the straight people get pulled into it, because most of
the
the
DL.
people, right? Most of the people who
because the DL, because they are not accepted back into the community. So they can't tell the bisexuals. It's bisexual men, okay? When bisexual men let a woman know that they like men and women are not going to accept them back. So a lot of bisexual men cannot let women know that they like men too. I don't care what y'all say.
They'll kill us. They would rather kill us, hurt us, do all types of things.
Yeah.
Too often, and so much of lately has it been, you know, I've been seeing like girls get into situations based on a man, like not knowing. And it doesn't just go to the extent of a man, for example, a trans woman got into a situation, a white trans woman got into a situation with a guy, and the man physically assaulted her in front of 5 or 6 different people that were sitting outside. And the people say, oh, well, go hit him back, go do something. And it's like, no, you're going to fight a whole man? Like, I think people really need to stop thinking that also we're these just big hulking men. I've been on hormones for 5 years. I could barely lift my couch anymore. Like,
I know that.
I sweat when I come down the stairs running from there to the kitchen. Like,
I know.
Come on, getting all these surgeries, doing this, doing that. Like,
you're not a man.
Not at all. But I think people know that. It's just another defense mechanism, another thing that you just feel like you could say, but girl,
Right. So we're gonna finish watching some of the things, and I want people to listen to these ladies, listen to what they are saying, because we really need to hear it. So pay attention.
It's a woman's bathroom, it's a man's bathroom, and now I'm learning I need to address myself as a cis woman. I'm learning this as an adult. It's so many things that we have to become comfortable with learning, and people's comfortability, ranges differently. You say
what happens with
intersex
people? What happens with hermaphrodites? What happens with intersex?
I don't even know the difference.
Intersex are people who are born with both private parts.
Oh, okay, got you. See,
so what do you want them to use the restroom?
So where are they supposed to go to the bathroom? So it's a very thin line. We all start out the same thing. Like, it's the gonads that start producing one way or the other. And sometimes it takes a longer time. Like, some people have a certain genitalia but to produce a different hormone. Like, you can have a penis but be producing so much estrogen. So it's scientifically, it's such a thin line that it's very it's like, how can people not understand? When you really start reading up on it, it's like, okay, this is very likely for somebody's brain. And then they had specific, they done things where there were trials that shows that trans women brains were the same as women. So it's very,
You think, it seems like as of late, there's been an explosion of folks coming out and saying they're trans. Now, in our society, there's so many people that want to be with what's trending. Do you think there's people that are faking it for the clout, or that are jumping on the bandwagon and really aren't in their souls? Or has there been this many trans people in our society that just haven't felt that they could come out until now?
I call them trendgenders.
Trendgenders.
No.
Oh, they gonna hate you, Chelsea.
Some people, I say all the time, some people are gonna be miserable when they get older. You know what I'm saying? Because they feel like, there are some girls that are doing it specifically just so that they can prostitute, just so that they can escort, or so that they can feel like, because the girls make it look glamorous. But see, what people don't see is the other side of it. So it's a constant search. It is sometimes it can be lonely because everybody wants to have sex with you, but who's going to love you? Who is going to be open enough to want to love you out loud?
Financial
everybody wants to
burden.
see you in the dark, or whatever. So they don't get that side of it. They just see the beauty. Oh, these girls are beautiful. Oh, they
Beautiful.
so and so and so. They're making these money. They're having the trade. Blah blah blah. And they don't get the other side of it when you in the house and you're giving girl.
Miss Thing, what's the
I
tea?
didn't want. This is not. I wanted to just be a woman. I didn't want to be. I didn't want to have to go through all this.
Burden. Go
I have
ahead.
a question. I'm sorry. Could you consider someone an ally or someone who considers themselves an ally and say, they
People say
do
that all the
take the
time.
time? Yeah, they take the time to, stay up to date on the vocabulary, this, that, and the third. But say that person is a parent. And just say when it comes to having a child, that person is like, listen, I don't want my kid watching no cartoons like that, going over nobody's house, that same sex parents. When it comes to my kid is a kid, and I want my kid to be a kid. Would you then, some people on the internet might label that person as transphobic or something because when it comes to their kid, they feel like that, but they also feel like an ally. What would you call them?
There goes back into preference. I mean, if you don't want your niece to come over here and play with my niece because I'm trans, that's your preference. That's your niece going to be missing out on the experience with a child. That's your
Yeah, I
preference.
just think that that's not. I just first of all, like when they say same sex. First of all, I just think that comes against
But see,
unconditional
look, they
love.
say then you're not an ally, and
Yeah,
Then you're
you're
not an
not.
ally.
You're not.
You're
I don't
You're
not.
think that's
not
fair. I don't
because
think
you
that's
have.
fair.
Be,
I think
you
I
know,
could be an
Because
ally to
you
you.
being a
I could.
hypocrite and then also trying to
yeah.
justify something too. That doesn't make sense.
What makes
No.
someone an ally? What does being an ally look like? So we know what an ally looks like.
Doing the work outside of this right here. That's what an ally is truly is. An ally is someone who accepts the fact and the role of helping up for people who may not look like them. That's what an ally looks like to me. And doing the work and respecting them. I respect people who want to have conversations and understanding about things without bashing them or people making them feel bad for asking questions. People have made you feel bad over the last couple of months for
Yeah.
asking a question that you want to have asked. And I think that you're a great person, but I would love to see you do the work when Jada Black Beauty is not here. I would love to see that.
See,
Dominique, I would love to see the work when I'm not here on this panel. I would love to see that. And I'm always here to answer questions and be on your team. And if you ever want to call me and have a question, you say, hey sis, I have a question for you. I'm trying to understand something.
If you want
If
to
I
put me
know
on
that
your
you do
show too,
yeah, listen,
if
I
you're
talk
doing
about it.
if
But
you're
can I
doing the
say
work, go
Claudia
ahead,
with the
Claudia.
T.
to piggyback off of what Dominique said earlier, a lot of us black women have so many other things in our lives. Like, I'm a survivor of sexual assault twice, right? And I got to balance this relationship. And I'm in a man's world with my career. Then I got to fight for equal pay. Then I got to worry about my mom that's sick. Then I got to be an auntie. Then I got to do this, that, and the other.
How do you do research?
And then all while making less than my male counterpart. Like, I'm just saying, the average black
Misogyny.
woman has a million things and fights that we're doing for everybody. So am I not a good ally if I care, I love, and I want to help, but I don't take the time to research? Is it throw the whole woman away?
I think that's
Or
unfair.
No.
It's not
But you
throwing the
gotta do
whole
the
woman
work, but
away,
it's
but I
also
think
about
all that
action.
boils you down to misogyny. A lot of that, we still live in a misogynistic world, and it's like,
yeah.
allies would probably be good for you because we can help the fight a little more. If we all see woman as woman and we become a sisterhood, then maybe we can fight this misogynistic world because, like I think misogyny trumps racism in this war, in America. At the end of the day, they'd rather see a man in there, whether he's white or black, versus a
That's
woman.
very true.
So are
That's very
white men
true.
the root of all evil in America? Racist white
Boom.
men are.
Basically,
Well, orange. He was orange.
We're
He
not
wasn't
talking
really
about
white. He was
all of
orange.
y'all, but
He was
baby, listen.
orange.
I think that's interesting though that someone can feel like they were an ally, but when it comes to their kid, not want that to be off limits, and based on the comments, not what you girls said.
Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm going back and forth between different things. So, my thing with this is that, as far as children are concerned, children, we should not be, having conversations with children about female genitalia. This question that she asked was, your 7-year-old child. Why would you be having a conversation with a 7-year-old about someone being trans? First of all, why are we needing to feel a need to let this trans person know that we know that they're trans?
Not only that, in most cases, the children don't even know. Like, I've been with some of my mom's friends. We've had where, we was around little kids and stuff, and they didn't find out or even know that I was trans until it was like gossip or talked about amongst the adults.
Right.
And
The
then
kids,
they
9
just
times
heard
out of
about
10, the
it.
kids don't know.
Yeah, the little
The
boy
kids-
came up and asked me like, "What is,
You're so pretty.
what is-
Where'd you get?
What is oh, well, I just said okay and I just walked away."
Right.
Like, children don't care or really even think about that.
Right.
So when you make them aware or care or think about it, then they're going to think of it as like, "Oh, this is a problem. Oh, I see how it's."
So Liana Love says, because children are curious and they ask questions, trust me. Liana Love, you're absolutely correct. Children are curious, but they're curious at a certain age.
Exactly.
At 7 years old and 6 years old, I'm going to tell you right now, they are not asking a question about a transgender woman.
Especially when you look like me or these two ladies.
Yeah, they don't
even
know. Children
unless you
have
make
no
them know.
idea unless you make them aware, and that's what we're trying to. I'm not trying to change anybody's views. I'm not trying to change how anybody was raised or whatever. I just want people to start to try to understand and open your mind to people are human, and people have feelings. They bleed like us, they hurt like us, they feel like us. And if you were, in someone's shoes that all they wanted in this world was to fit in and to be loved, why can't they have that?
It's like what Tempest was saying also with these like fake trans girls and real trans girls. That makes it bad too but
Right.
it's always evident what's the difference, because 9 times out of 10, those girls, which I've seen usually detransition. I went from seeing girls who I knew for a fact transitioned on the fad just because it was popping, or it look pretty, or just because on one Halloween they put on some girl clothes and they was out and someone said, "Oh, work, you look good," and then they transitioned and then go through all of these crazy, erratic, psychotic things that really make trans women look bad, because we go through things, but it's only because we're not transitioned at the time. 9 times out of 10, the therapy, the medicine is hormone replacement therapy, is getting clinically diagnosed by a doctor, therapist, that you're gender dysphoric.
Right. And that is what I want to encourage Black parents. Now, my child and I, we aren't the norm, especially in Black families, and that's sad. When everybody told me to turn my back on my child, I didn't. When everybody told me to walk away from my child, I didn't. When everybody told me I shouldn't be standing for my child, I didn't. Who are you to tell me what I'm supposed to do with mine? Even though you do go through a grieving point. You do, feel as though you're losing a child, but you're gaining a child as well. So there is a grieving period that I will say that parents, you do have to allow yourself time to grieve, but you have to grieve in a respectful way. You can't grieve to a point where you're going to make them feel as though I'm going to continue to call you by your birth name. I'm going to continue to call you by the pronouns that you don't want to be called by. Wait a minute, let me finish and then I'm going to let you do it. Because I know that for parents, because we're going to watch a clip with T.S. Madison and her father, Black parents particularly, They think that they are doing something grand and they're sticking to this Christian religion and this Christian mindset by saying, I'm going to continue to call you what you were born as. I'm going to continue to do this because I'm not going to turn my back on God. I'm not going to hell for you and stuff like that. And it's like, stop. You're doing that because you don't want to lose your child. You feel like you're losing a child. It is normal to feel like that. So you got to allow yourself that feeling to feel it. Grieve, yes. But then you have to open your arms and you have to be accepting of your child. And then it becomes, wow, a new process. And don't go through this alone. You need to have professional help. You need to have your child seeing a therapist. They need to be going through it clinically. Please don't go out on the street and buy your child no hormones.
No matter how much she tells you.
Go to the pediatrician and have your child see the therapist, see the doctor, and go through it the clinical way. You also go to these appointments. You also seek therapy. That's my advice, because you can't do this on your own. And it's not something, because it's a clinical thing. It is gender dysphoria. It is something that is medical. So you need to be going through with professional people. You black people, stop trying to do everything by yourself. Stop trying to do shit without getting therapy, without getting counseling, without seeking medical attention. Black people love to try to do shit on their own. They love to try to go through the church. They love to try to get hands laid. Some things are medical, and you have to go through the physician.
Black people also have a problem. Stop thinking that you own your children. If you failed, that's your fault. Stop putting all your hopes and your dreams and what you wish you would have did in your kids, because you don't own your child.
Right.
You chose to bear them for 9 months, however long you did, and give birth to them. But once you give birth to them you grow them up and raise them, if they make a decision to turn into a cow, okay, they want to turn into a cow, okay, you get it. It's like
you ain't turning into no damn cow.
But I'm just saying, it's an easy thing to comprehend when you have your own things going on, when you're kind of feel like you succeeded in a way in your life. A lot of parents not accepting your child, because believe it or not, it's
got the fan, baby. You got the fan. Did you?
Yeah, I think I sat on the couch.
That's okay. I'm gonna use this. Go ahead.
A lot of, like, believe it or not, in the black community, there's a lot of people who do accept their kids. It's just not seen as much. It's more so seen, within the white community. But I know 1,000,001 different trans women who have their dad by their side. Their dad accepts them, calls them their daughter. In most race groups that I've seen with trans women and parents accepting them is amongst black trans women, especially when I got into the ballroom thing and started making friends and knowing different trans women. Most of my trans sisters who are black, their dad worships the ground that she walks on. That's their baby, their daughter. Because when you have a child who is trans, if it really is who she was, there's no shock in the world that's too shocked.
Okay.
You grew up being that way. There were signs, whether you ignored it, that's your fault for ignoring it. For as long as I can remember,
let me tell y'all something.
On her goddamn
she always was feminine.
The door upstairs watching Zoe 101. Like,
she always put things on her hair. She always put things. I'm telling you, when she was little, she used to always cut. She used to make these. She used to make these paper hair. I don't know.
It was a t-shirt.
It was a t-shirt, but you used to.
It was the pom-poms.
But you used to do with the paper too, where you would put the paper and it would be pieces of paper.
Paper.
Child.
I know it's there.
She was always feminine. I did think that she was going to come to me and tell me that she was gay. So when she came to me and told me that she was trans, because I didn't understand what transgender was, because in my day, all we had was gay or straight. We did have transsexuals. That's what we called them back in the day. We said transsexuals. So, or drag queens, RuPaul and shit like that. So we didn't really have transgender. So, I had to get educated and everything, but this is my baby. I wouldn't have it any other way. So let's finish getting into this.
But based on the comments, they were like, no, then they not an ally then. And I'm like, maybe they just saying my baby only 7. Maybe when he's 17, he can watch when he want to go over there. But my baby is 7.
That is a comment that all of us need to hear. If we could stop canceling each other, we could heal from each other. That is a comment that we all can take. Randy, you better say that. Randy is from New Orleans as well, and he was doing the people's work down there in New Orleans, and I kind of grew up under him. So shout out to Randy for that. And I totally agree.
When you cancel someone, you stop them from ever wanting to move forward. Like, they're like, well, fuck it, I've been canceled. Yeah. Not everyone's like me who still tries. Like, I'll get canceled, then I'm like, no, but I still care. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that get canceled, and they can't take the pressure. Like, I cried all day yesterday and half of today because there's always something. And I'm just like a kid that's like, I want to learn, but then if I get smacked down, I'll still try. But a lot of people don't, and they will give up. And I just want to also be a little bit open to black women in our struggle, cis women in our struggles. Like, we deal with a lot too. We all deal with a lot. And just being open to each other's struggles. Like, one struggle isn't more important than the other struggle. And I think that applies with cis and trans, light and dark. Black people have so much pressure on them every single day, coming from all different directions. The more we fight against each other, the more the racist white man that runs all this shit laughs and loves it. Like, look at them niggas. Look at them fighting each other. Divide and conquer. And it works. We could be so much further along if we just stop the bullshit. And if someone makes a mistake and uses the wrong pronoun because they're still in the early process of their education, take them to the side. Don't blast them on Instagram and make them feel like they want to commit suicide over it. Talk to them. And you know the difference between someone that's evil and trying it and trying to be an asshole, between that and someone that actually made a mistake. And there's clout chasers that's like, there's clout chasers that can say, oh, Claudia Jordan came for me, and everybody go hate her too, and they use it as clout, and that's wrong. I am not your enemy. I would not have y'all on my show and this show if I didn't care. And I need y'all to understand me. I really need y'all to feel me. I need y'all to feel me. I'm not that woman. I'm so mischaracterized all the time, and it hurts my heart, y'all. It does.
I have to speak on this.
Yes, ma'am.
I have to speak on Miss Claudia Jordan. Misunderstood. Claudia and I share the same birthday. She's an Aries. I'm an Aries. Her birthday is April the 12th. My birthday is April the 12th. I know how she feels because people do this to me all the time. I will start off with people. We will be good for like a week. We be running. I love Sweet Pea. I love her. And then they start to see how I really am. And I don't know if they get intimidated by who I really am. And they see like, oh, this girl is about her business. I'm talking about people that know me in real life, and I've never been able to keep friends. I've never been able to keep.
I don't think it's an Aries thing though, because I go through the same thing.
I'm telling you, it is an Aries thing. People think that we are arrogant. They think we don't care. They think that, we're not listening to them when we, we're arrogant and cocky, and we think we know everything. I have been said these things. I've been called all of it. So Claudia, girl, I understand, honey. I understand. I understand how people will think that, you know, you once you say something, write it off, write the bitch off, she don't care, you know, and I get that. And my main objective for this tonight is not to be kissing Claudia's ass because she was on my show, and just because, you know, we cool, and you know, we, you know, behind the scenes, you know, I can holler at her or whatever. It's not that. Yeah, you know, I can holler at her, but I gotta put that out there. But it's not that. It's just that I get that every time I turn around, I see that Claudia colorist Jordan, Claudia this, Claudia said this, Claudia broke up somebody's marriage, Claudia this. That girl is over there with her boyfriend. She is in love with some damn retired Army sergeant man that is fine. He's cute. Every time I see them, they loved up. She is not breaking up nobody's home. They pushing this narrative on this woman. She ain't doing none of that shit. She got trans women on her show. She the only black woman that I see out here trying to have this conversation.
Because everyone
other than
else
me,
is jealous of us.
Other than me. Other than me.
Other than her, because the reality is they can't take it. A lot of y'all fish, y'all cannot take us.
But see, the thing about it is, now we're going to talk about the fish word, because that's something else that we got to talk about, because people were saying, what is that? We don't smell like fish. This is what I want.
Fish? Would you rather hear the other one, which is cunt?
But
the cunt?
But I'm telling you, that's what the whole like, people be wanting to fight, and they get upset because they say, you know, the word fish. Now, I'm just telling the trans women out there, because I'm telling you too, and I'm educating you as your mother, and I'm telling the other trans women. Women don't like to be compared to that fish, because they feel like it has been a negative term with our private part, okay? It has been associated with our private part smelling like fish. And when your private part smells like fish, it's because you have something going on down there. You have a bacteria or something's not right. So that is why. But what I do know is that it's a term of endearment.
Like, can I break down what
wait a minute, because I know, and I'm going to let you do it, but I do know that she's educated me on, it's actually the highest level of femininity in their world. Like it's giving, you know, it's giving very much woman.
Right, like when a trans girl is talking to another trans girl, or even a butch queen, but mainly we're talking about trans girls in this, and like, or like in a ballroom sense, or you seeing another girl, and you look at her, and it could be a bunch of trans girls, and you see her, oh, she is fish boot, she is cunt. Like, that's a term meaning like
she's really pretty.
Right, she's real. Like,
she's
like a real
she can
woman.
really look like a.
Right.
But see, that's what women are like. Why did you use the word fish?
Because
why don't you just say
like,
real woman? But because in our world, fish is associated with your stinking.
In the cunt part, like, that's more like when another, like, a term of endearment, like calling a trans woman cunty, like, that's
right.
Like, oh, I look so cunty tonight. Like,
yeah, because I know I hear, like, when you guys be in the ballroom, and when they be when the master of ceremonies, when the commentator be like cunty, stunty, cunty, stunty, cunty. Yeah, what is stunty, cunty? What's stunty?
Stunty, cunty, it means like just another term of saying like just the ultimate level of fish, like the way you're voguing, the way you're doing whatever you're doing to the commentators, just real woman-like.
Oh, okay.
Stunty,
like, well, I'm very much giving stud cunty, right? With the hat.
No,
is this stud cunty?
She wished, but she's always giving cunt.
I'm cunt. I'm cunt. So we're going to I'm gonna jump off of the Claudia thing. We're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna transition into T.S. Madison. You know, as I said, her
someone said
they've used
laughs.
That's my girl LGG.
Since the 80s, yeah.
They've used fish since Sylvester from San Francisco and Bay Area. We know that's love.
Yeah.
Oh, I know who Sylvester is. Okay. So we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back with some more commentary. All right, guys. So that is All Things Customized 2 on Facebook and on Instagram. You can follow her on Facebook and Instagram at All Things Customized and the number 2. You can also send her an email at All Things Customized and the number 2 at gmail.com. She is the queen of all things customized. She specializes in hats, shirts, hoodies, tumblers, gift baskets. All things customized will get the job done. Okay? Check her out on Facebook and Instagram. All things customized too. So let's get into this T.S. Madison clip.
Caused me to accept something.
Why?
When you came out the closet, I don't know what occurred. Something had to occur. Something had to occur for you just to all of a sudden just change like that. It's a freaky feeling. It's just a freaky thing, period. To see your child transform. It's not easy to accept you becoming her, how
A
you
woman.
Yeah. In my soul, I can't agree with me calling you a woman's name. I can't help myself, man. I got that kind of class.
Oh, so you think that it would lower your class?
You know, it's hard for me to listen to this right now, but in this whole situation, I'm learning that it's better to listen than to clap back.
Caused me to accept something.
Why?
When you came out the closet, I don't know what occurred. Something had to occur. Something had to occur for you just to all of a sudden just change like that. It's a freaky feeling. It's just a freaky thing, period. To see your child transform. It's not easy to accept you becoming her, how
A
you
woman.
Yeah. In my soul, I can't agree with me calling you a woman's name. I can't help myself, man. I got that kind of class.
Oh, so you think that it would lower your class?
You know, it's hard for me to listen to this right now, but in this whole situation, I'm learning that it's better to listen than to clap back.
Caused me to accept something.
Why?
When you...
So this is basically representative of the black community. I mean, the black community somehow thinks that, I don't know, they have some type of allegiance to other blacks, their family, Christianity, whatever belief system. And if you somehow give into calling, a transgender woman a woman, calling her name or something like that, you are somehow, should I say, you're somehow,
as he said, lowering your
lowering your class, or you're betraying your religion, or you're betraying your family.
I think also it reflects on the black community as well, but it reflects on the trans girl as well. And I think what's wrong with the black trans community is that too often do black trans girls like worry so much about, which is fine, but too often does she worry so much about, her transition rather than being respected as a woman. A transition is a transition, but a transition means nothing if you're not respected as a woman, as it clearly, as she's clearly seen, because all these years later she's trying to go back and redo it, and it's like it's too late now. Like, it's been over 30 years,
right?
And this is what I'm saying, this is the problem with black trans girls. Other races, Asian, white,
just over it,
can do it and do it from the jump. I did it because but you have to do that work from the start. You can't be transitioning all these years,
right?
And put up with the misgender, the disrespect from all these years and said nothing. And
I don't get that.
Just because you're on a TV show, Mama.
Right.
It's not going to.
T.S.
As you see your mom, she's still. It's cringe for her. And you can see the expression on her face if you guys have seen the show when her own mother calls her Madison. She doesn't even know how to take it. That shows she don't even. Because that isn't a normal thing to her. Like, my grandmother, to me, was like the hardest thing. We went back and forth for years, but just naturally, like, taking me out of the picture when I hear her having conversations on the phone with my mom, like,
calling you Faye.
Calling me Faye, and she, her, and hers. Like, it's up to the trans girl just as much as it's up to gaining the respect from whoever. I think so often because we get passable, and that means passes.
Right. So you get comfortable.
We're so used to getting called she,
well,
her,
I'm gonna tell you this
out in public.
T.S. Madison, I love you, baby. You followed me on Instagram. I follow you. I've been trying to get you on my show. I guess you done got too big for your britches now. You're a superstar, so you're not gonna answer me. You was answering me before this damn show. Now you ain't answering me, but you better get back. I'm trying to get you on my show. You know I love you. But what I don't understand is why you let your parents disrespect you like this. I would never even think to do this to my child. And I don't understand after how over 30 some odd years, they are not used to it by now. You've been transitioning since you were a teenager, girl. You done transitioning. You're a grown middle-aged woman. They should be used to it by now. They should not. That is so disrespectful that they still are not calling you her, she, hers.
But we can't get too mad at the parents because it's obvious it's something she allowed. It's something
that's something she allowed. Right, but she think now that she's famous and she's on TV and everything. And just because you're on a TV show, that the dad like, I don't give a damn.
Because if I
don't give a goddamn.
If you don't, I'm not going to say train, but if you don't get people around you used, I'm going to just be honest, I'm sure that's the first time T.S. Madison's father seen her like that. In person,
years.
Period. I'm sure that's the first time. You could just tell, like, me being a trans woman, I could just tell by the interaction, even she's uncomfortable. That was the first time T.S. Madison's father have seen her in forever. I'm sure in person.
And she only felt to do it because she's on a show. So she feels like I'm successful. I made it. It's like she gives you see.
Could care less. That gives her like this kind of like
the ultimate. I made it.
The WeTV, the cameras kind of give her like a I don't gotta feel, I don't gotta care. So really, she's not hurt by that situation because she's like. It's basically like WeTV is patting her on the back, like you're also breaking barriers. You're opening doors for other people. You're being transparent. She's allowing us to see, but this is not surprising to black people, though. Why do you think
you know that?
I know, but why do you think she didn't do this all those years before?
Because she didn't get offered.
No, because she knew how uncomfortable it would be for not just for her, for her dad. Going back to my original statement, she didn't do the transition with her family. So the cameras, all of that, basically gave her the confidence, okay, I'm going to finally do it. To sit down and have that conversation, it's uncomfortable. My birth dad, I've walked past him like 3 times since being trans, and he didn't even recognize me. Like, only till, he came to my uncle came, and it was just, so it's uncomfortable, for people who you don't let know right off the bat, look, this is this, and it's no in between. If you don't respect me, we don't have a relationship, period. You're grown up, you're an adult at the end of the day. Respect is like, okay,
you an adult. You ain't no damn adult. You my baby. You ain't no damn adult,
I'm
girl.
just saying, she's 43, 44. Like, it's like, come on. Whether you respect me as a male, female, whatever, it's like respect. Like, I'm probably giving you a check from sitting in this scene.
Right.
Like,
He said it's a freaky thing. It's a freaky thing.
At
Look
least
like
sit here and like say she to the camera like once or twice. But going back, you could tell by how uncomfortable she is and how she just kind of like you could tell by her demeanor, she knew he wasn't going to accept it. She knew the conversation was going to be uncomfortable, and she was just like, okay, I'm gonna say these key points,
right.
And
here go your check.
And here's your check. Goodbye.
Bye, nigga.
You see, the mom was nowhere around. Like,
Miss Mary, I like Miss Mary.
I don't like Miss Mary. I don't like Miss Mary.
I like Miss Mary. Yes, we like Miss Mary.
I think for when your child does that much for you, like if you're so holy and so into that Bible,
right,
and all 80,000 scriptures that's in that Bible and know it, you would not be around your child going anywhere. I mean, I know the extensive history of the videos they've been in.
Yeah.
She's been in depth around Madison. It's not like she just started coming around the past couple years. She's been
around
Madison
her.
Came into being in her big house in Georgia and Duluth. That's where they are.
Conyers.
Duluth.
Right, Conyers.
Duluth, right. She's used to being in car, like they go shopping all the time.
Yeah.
So you're out with your daughter.
Yeah.
It's like the little things that you just know she's doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
Because when they're out, Madison is fish boots.
Yes.
You know she's not getting called. He is nothing.
Right.
So when she goes and y'all at the grocery store and you tell her go grab some
right.
boo.
Right,
not Madison,
right.
Boo. Go grab some, I forgot such and such. And you're in the cash register is like, oh, do you want me to wait for her to come back? Those moments to the recipient, not the trans, but the family, those moments is what really
puts them in their place. And
it
wakes them up.
Family mind to see.
Okay. She's really passionate.
She's really that because those are the moments
the world respects her as a woman.
Those are the moments for a trans woman of color at least,
that gives you life.
That gives the family if they didn't respect it before,
they're gonna do it now.
Respect it now.
You look so pretty. Look at those little highlights in the front. Your hair. You look so pretty. Look at you. You look so pretty.
This is what she does all day.
All right, y'all. Well, this was a great show. We need to have more conversations like this.
Any questions?
You guys drop in the comments if you have questions. Let us know. We are going to be doing shows like this every Thursday. We're going to be giving transability, all of that, visibility, transvisibility, whatever. We are going to be dedicating Thursdays to that on my platform because I think it is very important in our Black community that we begin to have these topics discussed.
I think we should take like 3 questions if they have any questions for us.
So really quickly, my daughter says we should take 3 questions. If anybody has any questions, you guys in the chat, let me know if you have any questions really quickly while I can still talk, while I can still breathe because my nose is very much done this thing. So, you guys have any questions? We addressed the things about the children. We will wait to see if anybody has any questions. Anyone have any questions? I think we pretty much covered everything. We did a great job in addressing, I think Black people, we have a lot of little taboo, things that we have to get over. And it's time to, I'm not telling people to get rid of the Bible. I'm not telling people to get rid of Christianity, but I am telling people to get rid of these indoctrinated beliefs that we have, and we associate them with the Bible. We need to get rid of that because the world is progressing. Transgender, gay, bi, they're not going anywhere. We need to love our children. Black people, stop kicking your children out of the house because they are gay, because they are trans. They are not capable of living life on their own at 18, 17. They fall victim to the streets. They fall victim to drugs. They fall victim to victimization by older people. They will get killed in the streets. So stop kicking your children out.
Unless you want them to be sex workers for the
Right.
rest of their life.
Right. Because that's right where they going. Straight to the streets, straight to sex working. All right. So I'm out, y'all. This has been my show. I cannot talk anymore. I'm done. If you guys have questions, y'all can email me at sweetpeadiaries@outlook.com. You can always send me emails. You can always send me questions. We are here to educate. That's what we hear.
Trans is a less normalized transgender, the T being a gender. Trans is not a sexuality. It has nothing to do with sexuality. I could still like girls if we're going in that direction. In transition, trans is my gender, is my sister's genders, is my brother's genders. That has nothing to do with sexuality. I could like a woman and like still be trans.
Right. And that's her business.
And stop asking us what we have between our legs.
Right.
I'm tired of going to parties and y'all get drunk and y'all ask me if I have a penis or vagina. Like, stop it.
It's none of your business.
Yeah.
Bye, y'all. We love you. That's all we got. We ain't got no love, damn it.